Hello, good morning. I am Tijani Mustafa Abiodun Adedeji. I'm a physicist and I do my studies in mathematical physics, consciousness science, and the theory of everything. I'm the founder of CENProject, a research organization that develops science and technology in Africa using African indigenous knowledge systems combined with modern science. Today, we are looking at the theory of everything (TOE) developed in CENProject. CENProject, the theory in CENProject simply states that energy, or more specifically, consciousness energy (CEN) is everything that really exists. Now, what we are seeing here is that at the most fundamental level, energy or CEN is all that exists. So generally, the theory is a framework in physics that seeks to unify all branches of physics. It is also called master theory, final theory. It has several other names, grand unified theory. Now, this theory seeks to develop a unified, coherent framework for the universe as a whole. It is an open problem in physics. In CENProject, which we have been engaging in since 2018, we developed a unique solution to the problem of theory in physics. And our theory simply means energy. Over the last 100 years, even much longer, different physicists have come up with various frameworks to solve this problem, to unify the whole of physics together. So some physicists regard the theory, they regard this as they use physical frameworks, physical approach, sorry, to solve this problem. That means they develop the theory based on a physical entity such as quantum particles, strings, and the likes. But our own approach here, our theory is based on energy. It simply means energy. And energy is an abstract entity. You cannot see it with the naked eye. This is why we code energy as zero. In the theory itself, we code energy, which means we define energy as zero. In essence, the theory is also called vacuum. That means this energy is also called vacuum or nothing. Vacuum or nothing. So our theory goes by different names: theory, energy, vacuum, nothing, and CEN. So there are several other names as well. Now we developed this theory using various African indigenous knowledge systems, such as the ancient Egyptian knowledge system, the Odufa of the Yoruba people of Nigeria, and a number of other aspects of African cultures and traditions. Specifically, the Odufa of the Yoruba people is the ancient theory developed by polymaths called Ifa and Orunmila in the ancient eras. The theory is a universal system that we use to study all fields and disciplines in CENProject. So all the fields people are studying, whether in sciences, social sciences, management science, engineering, education, arts and humanities, all fields in academia, we study everything using the holistic or integrated framework called the theory. Now, the theory, let's start from the origin of existence in the theory framework. The most accurate framework is to study the origin or source of the universe. It's called the Big Bang in physics. We adopt this framework as well in the theory. Basically, we adopt the model called the Earth Big Bang model because this is what aligns most with the Ifa Big Bang cosmology. So we are merging the Ifa Big Bang cosmology with the Earth Big Bang model, in astrophysics and cosmology. Now, this is the picture. You can see it as a picture or a system that scientists develop. That means I'm talking about the Earth Big Bang model, or there are various Big Bang models. But particularly now, we are talking about the Earth Big Bang model. So you can just see it as a picture that physicists came up with, developed, explaining how everything in existence came to be. So the model simply says that the universe started from a state which is called which is some people call it vacuum. They said the state expanded via expansion or explosion through different mechanisms to birth everything that is in existence. Now, we simply, by merging some aspects of this Earth Big Bang model and the evolution of the universe explained in the Ifa, we came about the framework called Ifa Big Bang cosmology. This framework was developed by combining aspects of the Big Bang theory in astrophysics and cosmology with key elements of the Ifa's explanation of how the universe came about. So we also call this theory Big Bang. Now, this Big Bang model is a universal model because it is based on energy, which is also called vacuum, nothing, or CEN. Because it is based on energy, it encompasses all other existing Big Bang theories and models in physics. All similar theories that are developed in the past and present and even in the future, because all of them, there's no how you develop a Big Bang model that will talk about energy. That is why I say the Ifa Big Bang model encompasses all existing Big Bang models and the future ones. The theory Big Bang is a container and fundamental building block of all Big Bang models and theories in physics. Using this Big Bang model, we want to explain how the universe came to be. The first point to note is that in the theory, or let me say in Ifa philosophy, in Ifa's way of thinking, existence is defined as energy. So I can write this more, I can be more specific here. If I denote existence with X sub E, E stands for existence. That's X sub E. So it is defined as energy. Energy itself is is a vacuum. Earlier we said that it is defined as zero. So what we are saying here is that existence is fundamentally a vacuum or energy. So that is the implication of this. So in the theory, all we are simply studying is this quantity called zero. Zero came about from the union of two opposites, which is called composition operation in abstract algebra. Now, this operation is highly important in Ifa Big Bang cosmology. The composition operation, that is, anything, any aspect of nature, we represent that with infinity, plus infinity. This plus infinity stands for any, because we have the elements of nature are infinite. So we just take any one, can stand for anything, whether it can be human being or a plant, anything at all, infinitely, anything at all, any of the infinite things that exist. So we represent that with plus infinity. If we combine that with its opposites, that is like a partner or dual. That gives us, look at when we compose this, when we do this, it gives us zero. So this is a composition operation. Composition operation, union of opposites. Now, this operation is highly important in Ifa sciences, which is called the theory. Yeah. Now, we can also represent this quantity, this operation, as double infinity, because here we have combined two infinities. Here we have this combining, so that means we have two infinities. This is how we came about the symbol called Ifa infinity in CENProject. Ifa infinity. So this Ifa infinity is simply double infinity. So it is another way of representing energy, which we regard as the core of existence, which we regard as the theory in CENProject. We will also call this dual infinity. It is also called dual infinity. Now, this dual infinity is highly important in the theory. It is the entity we use to unify, integrate, interconnect, and internetwork all fields and disciplines, all elements of nature, to form a single coherent whole. Now, our theory is different from the one that physicists have been trying to develop. The theory not only unifies the whole of physics as a whole, using this entity called Ifa infinity, which stands for energy. It also unifies all fields and disciplines. That means if you take any discipline, whether it is in the sciences, arts, engineering, management science, if you take any field, just take any particular field in any discipline, this entity can unifies all the branches of that field. Whether, so let's say we take art for instance. So we take a field like law. All the branches of law, whether it is criminal law, jurisprudence, international law, many of the aspects of law like that. The Ifa infinity unifies all of them, just as a does in physics. If you also go to management science, education, any field at all, you also the symbol, the quantity, the entity also does the same thing. Apart from that, it also unifies different fields, unifies all fields in academia as a whole. It unifies all the whole of existence to form a single system, which we call energy or the theory. Now, this is that shows us the utility of this entity called Ifa infinity. It's a very, very important aspect. In fact, it's the most important aspect in the theory. How did this did energy evolve? Energy evolves from nothing. The universe evolves from nothing or vacuum. We say the universe evolved from energy or nothing because energy is not something you can see with the naked eye. So we say the universe evolved from nothing. We are not saying that, we are not using that term, nothing, to mean absence of anything in the layman context, in the layman usage. Yeah, we mean that nothing, yeah, by nothing we mean energy, and it's not something you can see with the naked eye. That's why we call it nothing or vacuum. So let's talk about how energy or vacuum, how it evolved to bring about the universe, that's everything that exists, whether living or not. So let's look at the Ifa Big Bang, which is the universal Big Bang model in theory. So let's know the fact that the theory in CENProject is a discipline on its own. It is not a research area in physics, as most physicists are looking at it. In CENProject, we develop the theory as an entire discipline on its own that encapsulates all existing disciplines, all of them unified together to form a coherent framework. Now, we want to talk about Ifa Big Bang, which is theory Big Bang. Now, this Big Bang is different from the Big Bang in mainstream science, in astrophysics and cosmology. This Big Bang here is a universal Big Bang model. You can see it as a container of all Big Bang models and theories in physics. It encapsulates all of them. Even the Big Bang models that will still be developed in the future, all of them will be developed ever in the future. Everything is contained in this universal model. Now, when we are in the universal model, this is everything that exists. That is energy. Now, this energy undergoes series of operations or processes, which are generally transformation. In the theory, we call them energy transformation, or CN transformation. So it starts evolving. It clones itself into two. It clones itself into two, like that. Now, this operation is called cloning in the theory. It's called cloning, or in the mathematical aspect, we call it, in the mathematical aspect of the theory, we call it identity mapping. So that's, it just clones itself. Now, the same thing that happened there is also what keeps on happening in infinity. This quantity, which stands for energy, zero, it just keeps on exploding, expanding infinitely in a process called the Big Bang. It keeps on to bring about everything that exists, to bring about the universe. The expansion goes this way. This entity clones itself in this manner. The same thing that happens, the same thing just keeps on recurring. It's like it's a kind of recursive function. Because it used to form recursive algorithm in computer science. So it just continues. This one too does the same thing. It clones itself. The same thing just keeps on happening. This one to clones itself. The same thing happens here as well. So it just continues in that manner. Now, this is the this is one cycle. The same thing also happens in another. This is a part of a cycle. This is half a cycle. The same thing happens in the reverse direction. So we want to find the draw of this operation here, or the opposite. So the opposite happens as well. You can see that this has become true, where the entity is replicating itself, cloning itself. This one to becomes true, and this one to also become true. So it continues like that, expanding at speeds faster than light. The speed of this Big Bang expansion is faster than light because the energy involved here is double infinity. It is so massive. So it has expanded at speeds faster than light. The everything the energy here. That's energy. CEN. Let's take note of the fact that what scientists called dark energy in astrophysics and cosmology is a manifestation of the energy we are talking about here. I'm not saying they are exactly the same thing, but dark energy is a manifestation of energy called CEN in the theory. Now, the same thing also happens if you look at this operation here. This is for the vertical axis. So the same thing also happens on the horizontal axis. This thing also clones itself. One becomes 0, clones itself along this direction. This one too does the same thing. It continues in that manner. The same thing happens here as well. So this one too continues in that manner. Now, this is the Big Bang model that underlies the system the Yorubas called the Ifa. This is the Ifa Big Bang. Now, in this system that we have, this framework we have developed, all the existing Big Bang models and the future ones are contained in this simple thing we are looking at. It looks so simple, but it's highly complex. Because for any Big Bang model at all, you can find the energy that gave birth to it here. The Yorubas will call this energy Odu, which means code. That's why it is called in the Yoruba culture and tradition. So it is code. You can find the specific code that underlies any Big Bang model that any human being comes up with. You can find a specific code or algorithm for that model inside this framework. Let me draw a clearer diagram. Because I want to show us something very, very important. So we are starting with 0, which represents energy, vacuum. It replicates itself. It's cloning. This is transformation operation. The same thing just continues. Now this is the Big Bang expansion. Big Bang expansion. So this is how the expansion occurs. The entity clones itself. So it continues like that. Continues in that manner. Continues in that manner. So I think you understand what I'm saying here. So the replication operation just continues in this manner, in this direction. Now the For this cycle, we also have the dual of this operation. There is something called dual in mathematics. That's in abstract algebra, category theory, and the likes. That's opposite of this thing. Duality. Duality is a very, very important aspect of Ifa. So we have the opposite also happening here. So this one also clones itself. So you can see that this is identity mapping. Identity. You can see that these two they are identical. They are the same. So we call this identity. We call this operation identity mapping in abstract algebra. That's mathematics. So the same thing also happens here as well. So this one to continues, just like exactly what you have here. Continues. So it goes on like that. So you can see a shape. You can see a shape. A shape. Imagine here. You can see there's a specific pattern emerging here. Now the same thing also. This for the horizontal sorry, the vertical cycle. So this is a complete cycle now. Now this cycle, you can see at the beginning we wrote this equation. So this equation is a composition operation. That is, we are composing two infinities together to give us double infinity. So this represents one infinity. Then the other infinity, we also have this one to the same operation. The same thing that just keeps on occurring. That energy, it just close itself like infinitely, like in that manner. So we have 0, 0. So it just continues in that manner. So it goes on like that infinitely. So the same thing happens here as well. So let me just draw this. I don't need to. So the same thing also continues here. So you can also see a pattern here as well. So you can see the plus infinity for the first one and the minus infinity for the dual of the first one. Everything is combined here to form the plus and minus infinity sign, which we call Ifa infinity or dual infinity. So this is dual infinity. So by the time I can trace out this symbol now. I can trace out all this to form this symbol dual infinity. Now this is the Ifa Big Bang model. This is theory Big Bang. So in all these dual infinities of vacuums, these things are vacuums or energy. You can add all the Big Bang models in physics that are contained within this framework. The energy of all of them, their core are contained. So that's why we say that the theory Big Bang model, the Ifa Big Bang, encompasses the container and fundamental building block of all Big Bang models in physics. So we mean it is the container. By container, we mean that it encapsulates all of them. Then fundamental building block, energy is the fundamental building block here, and is also the fundamental building block of all Big Bang models. Because there's no how you develop any model of Big Bang in physics without talking about the energy. Without talking about energy, at the point you must talk about energy is unavoidable. So the core of any model is its energy. By energy, we mean the normal definition of energy. You can also see energy as the spirit of something or the idea that you have about something in your head. That's another way to see energy. Now, this is the Ifa Big Bang model. So I explained this model in my paper, which I uploaded the preprint last year. So let me draw a clear diagram showing this dual infinity, the Ifa infinity. So if you can see from the previous diagram that the we have the infinity like that. So you can trace out. So if you trace out the edges of the previous diagram, those dots, you trace out that diagram, you are going to arrive at double infinity. That means one infinity combined or composed with another one. Now, this composition operation is highly important. The core of the theory is a framework called Ifa Mathematics or theory mathematics. That's what we are going to talk about next. Theory, the Ifa Mathematics is all about studying energy, the energies of everything that exists, whether it is humans, animals, plants, planets, stars, fields, disciplines, industry, anything at all. We study the energy in Ifa mathematics or theory mathematics. Now, in this universal system, we study all these elements of nature, all fields and disciplines, we study them in a holistic and integrated manner. So all of them have been combined together using this entity which we call Ifa infinity. That is energy. So in Ifa mathematics, which is theory mathematics, everything we study is just this single system. So whether it is physics, whether it is chemistry, whether it is biology, linguistics, marketing, education, adult education, politics, anything at all, we study them via this system. Yeah, we have developed a language, a universal language, which we call the theory language, theory or CN language or Ifa language. That language is universal binary language consisting of zeros and one. Now, using this language, we see everything that exists, all fields and disciplines, we simply see them as combinations of zeros, universal zeros and ones. Now, this zero and one is different from the normal zero I used to in mathematics and our fields. This zero here are universal entity. These zeros and one are universal entities in the theory, and they stand for Ifa infinity. So we represent Ifa infinity using zero, and the opposite, that means the dual of Ifa infinity. This is the dual of Ifa infinity. So you just write Ifa infinity, I will we'll cross it out, following the normal convention in mathematics of representing a quantity and its opposite or its dual. So request that. So this one is represent this one with one, on and off, open and close, opposite, duality. Now this duality shows the symmetry that underlies nature. Symmetry is a very key aspect of nature. So this zero is a universal. This zero and one are universal entities. Let me explain what I'm saying better. So we are now looking at Ifa mathematics. that is theory mathematics. Theory mathematics or Ifa Mathematics is the mathematics of the universal system called the Odifa in Yoruba language. In Ifa Mathematics, we are simply studying energy. We are studying energy. That is CN, underlying all things in existence. All things in existence, whether living or not. That means there are two things I want you to take note of in Ifa Mathematics. Two key aspects of Ifa Mathematics or theory mathematics. We have Ifa objects. And uh, Ifa transformation. Now, there are two key things to take note of in Ifa Mathematics. We have Ifa objects. So these are the things we are studying. They denote they are used to denote energy. The energy of anything, whether it is or fields, discipline, anything at all. So we observe them with Ifa objects. These are things. Then we study those things in a holistic and integrated manner. Everything is written in the language of the universal binary language, that's Ifa language or the theory language. That is zeros and one, universal zeros and universal one. Then we also look at the relationship between those things, those objects in Ifa transformation. So here we have object and transform. Now this transformation is universal transformation. That is why we call Ifa mathematics. Universal So we call it universal mathematics because all the fields of mathematics, they are contained within Ifa mathematics. What am I saying here? I mean that if you take any branch of mathematics, the energy of that field, the energy of that aspect of maths, it is represented in using strings of 0 and 1 in the Odufa of the Yoruba people. So the core of the field is, so you find it there. So any aspect of math, you find there's an algorithm or code for it in Ifa, in Odufa. So that's why we call it universal mathematics. That means that math is universal. It is common to mathematics as a whole. In fact, if you even go beyond mathematics, which is called meta mathematics. Now there are different aspects of meta mathematics. We have category theory. Meta mathematics means the mathematics of mathematics. Now, the different frameworks have been developed. Different mathematical frameworks have been developed by various mathematicians over the years. So we have category theory. We have also infinite category theory. You have universal algebra or universal coalgebra. You have the Lagrange program, and series of other programs, homotopy type theory, and series of meta mathematical frameworks like that. So if you check all those meta mathematical frameworks that people have developed, the principles of Ifa mathematics or the theory is universal to all of them. The theory axioms are 8 universal laws or principles, which I've explained in the lectures in the theory university, that's the online school. Those 8 axioms, which are also called Ifa axioms, underlie all mathematical frameworks that mathematicians have developed, and even the ones they will still develop in the future, whether in the past, present, or future. You find the axioms underlie all of them. That's why we also call Ifa Mathematics universal meta mathematics. So in Ifa Mathematics, you can see Ifa Mathematics as the universe of meta mathematics. That means it's the universe of the mathematics of mathematics. You can also see it as the universe of mathematics. So within this universal system, we have all fields and disciplines represented in strings or combinations of universal zeros and one. Universal zeros and one are 0. Now, you know the normal zero you are familiar with. This is the normal zero that you know in mathematics. You now differentiate this zero from the normal zero by using Ifa infinity as a subscript. What we are saying is that this zero stands for energy. It's different from the zero that you know. This one is universal. It stands for energy. Now, this one is universal. That means it's all the zeros in mathematics. It is contained within this universal entity, which we call theory zero. So this is Ifa number. We call it Ifa number. It's one of our discoveries in CENProject from the old Ifa of the Yoruba people. Then the dual or opposite of this entity, this universal entity, is 1. So opposite of this, on and off. On and off. That is theory 1. Now, these are universal number. Now, in Ifa mathematics, everything we are studying is just these combinations of zero. We are studying all these zeros, one, the combinations, permutation, and we are going to be expressing all fields and discipline in this language. Now, Leibniz, the German mathematician, the German polymath, and the mathematician, we are trying to develop universal language. Now, this is he couldn't do it for a number of reasons, which I examined in my lecture in the theory university. Now, we have come up with this language in the theory. So this is the universal binary language. It's called Ifa language. So in Ifa mathematics, we speak in terms of zeros and universal 1, theory 0 and theory 1. Now, these are odd numbers in existence are this. I'm going to shed more light on that in the next lecture. So let's stop the lecture at this juncture. In the next lecture, we are going to look at the various constructs. We have the various mathematical structures have developed in Ifa mathematics for studying all fields and disciplines in a holistic and integrated manner. I've also building some technologies as applications of Ifa mathematics there are universal calculators or computers that people can use it to study Ifa mathematics or theory mathematics. That is, they can use it to integrate and interconnect all fields together. So they can use it to study all fields via interdisciplinary, transdisciplinary, cross-disciplinary, intradisciplinary, and multidisciplinary approaches. The theory is a standard model of knowledge. So we stop at this point today.